to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. Coming up for you today, at long last, is a transfer roundup video. It's been a little while, but here we are, back on the January transfer front. We are going to be talking today a number of centre-forwards who Barcelona have been linked with in their pursuit of a striker. It's all coming up. All of those names you've heard in the media, we're discussing them right here. Let's get to it. Because since Luis Suárez has been ruled out for the next 4 months, Barcelona have been pondering a return to the transfer market in that centre-forward position. They don't really know whether to go out and bring somebody in now on a short-term deal, somebody maybe for the long-term as well. Barcelona have been discussing now, along with Quique Setien, since Setien came through the door, he's been asked a number of times whether he wants Barcelona to dip into that transfer market. And right now, Barcelona are still in the process of deciding exactly who to go for. Now, the reason for this delay has simply been because Barcelona are very, very determined not to go down the same route as we did last January. Because, of course, last January, even though we tried to forget it, we did bring in Kevin Prince Boateng, and the rest, well, it's not history, it was catastrophic. So basically, Barcelona don't want to go down that route. They want to make the right decision, and right now, they are looking at the market. However, for two reasons, January is a very, very difficult to do business in, and in particular, it's going to be difficult for us this January. Number one, it's very difficult to get quality in the January transfer window in general. Not many clubs want to let their star players go halfway through the season. That's always been the case. But number two, right now, among the top level clubs, we're not alone in wanting a centre forward. There are several clubs right now, right around Europe, who are desperate to get a striker in. You look there at the Premier League, the likes of Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham, they're all desperate there to bring in a centre forward after, like us, injuries have robbed them of their main man. So it's going to be interesting to see there exactly what happens, but these are some of the names that Barcelona have been linked with and the likelihood of them happening. I am going to give you here, guys, the full picture, ranging from those who are very unlikely to those who may be most likely to join Barcelona either now or in the summer. Starting here with Harry Kane. He was somebody who cropped up in the Spanish media that Barcelona may go for, but that was never going to happen. That's never going to happen, and simply because right now he's out injured anyway with a very serious injury until probably about the same sort of time as Luis Suárez. So he's not somebody who could come in and have an immediate impact. And also, Tottenham were never going to sell him, and if they were going to sell him, it would be huge, huge money. Harry Kane is not happening. Then there's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang crossing, of course, across the city from Tottenham to Arsenal. And Arsenal right now are in the kind of situation whereby they need to keep every possible player they possibly can because their season is in tatters. They need to have a good second half of the season. They need to push on now under Mikel Arteta. And the feeling right now from the Spanish media is that Arsenal will not sell Aubameyang in January, and that comes there as little surprise to me. We have been linked with Aubameyang on a number of occasions. Clearly there does seem to be some sort of interest from the club to get him, but in January, it will not happen. Another player who has been mentioned is RB Leipzig's Timo Werner, of course, the German international, a very, very good player. And in particular, he's the right kind of profile for what we are looking for. We're not just here looking for a centre-forward. We are looking here for an out-and-out number 9, somebody there who is focused on goal scoring alone, who's going to make those runs in behind, who's going to stay very much on the shoulder of the defence. And Timo Werner is exactly that kind of player. But this one for me is also very unlikely. Leipzig right now are still involved in the Champions League. They're not really a club that's short of money. And anyway, I think Timo Werner much more likely there to head to the Premier League. He's spoken about that within the past few weeks or so. For me, won't happen in January, not to Barcelona. Another interesting name that has been linked to the club, or should I say linked with a return, is none other than Paco Alcacer. That was a name there that was thrown up by the Spanish media over the past few days. And of course, following the arrival there of Erling Braut Haaland, he's come in, the youngster there, and has ripped up the Bundesliga on his very first game there, scoring an incredible hat-trick on his arrival. And also the injury problems to Paco Alcacer has meant, really, his time at Dortmund could be coming to an end. And that's a real shame and a surprise to me, because when he was fit there, Paco Alcacer went out to the Bundesliga, of course. Originally, he went on loan, then they made the move permanent, and he was somebody there who was playing very, very well at Borussia Dortmund, and I really thought that Paco had found a home out there. But unfortunately, Dortmund, like I say, have brought in now Haaland. He may become second choice. The injury problems have been there right throughout the season, and now it comes down to it that Alcacer is being linked to a return to the club that he left just a short time ago. But this is another one there I don't really really see happening. Paco would still be looking for some football ahead of Euro 2020. He'll want there as much time as he can possibly get. And again, if he is going to leave Dortmund, and that still remains in doubt, I would think maybe the Premier League could be an option for him. Another name that we have to throw out is AC Milan's Christoph Piatek, because after storming onto the scene in Serie A and earning there a big money move to AC Milan when Barcelona at that time were also linked with Piatek, since then though, he's struggled to replicate that early promise in front of goal. He's again the right sort of profile. He's a pure 9. He's somebody there who focuses on goal scoring, doesn't get too much involved in the build-up. He is very much so a finisher. But this season hasn't really happened for him at AC Milan. They brought in now Zlatan Ibrahimovic. They've got Rafael Leao. They've also got Rebic there as well. And right now, AC Milan seem to be open to letting Piatek leave in the January transfer window. And he's had a very, very interesting month, Piatek, because he actually started the month by being heavily linked there to a move to Aston Villa, battling relegation right now in the Premier League. Then as time went on, he was linked there with Tottenham. Then he started going higher, and now the Spanish media have linked him to Barcelona. But this for me, once again, is one I don't see happening. Another name that certainly all of us will be very familiar, Edinson Cavani. Could that be an absolutely incredible move to happen from PSG to Barcelona in the January transfer window? For me, it's unlikely. He's been heavily linked right now to Atletico Madrid, who actually want to try and wait until the summer to get him on a free transfer, because of course this summer, Edinson Cavani's contract at PSG does expire. He'll go for free in the summer transfer window, but after spending much of the season so far on the bench for PSG, they prefer, of course, Mauro Icardi right now. Cavani is very, very keen to move on in January. He's also been linked, of course, to the Premier League. Like I say, Chelsea, Man United are in the market for a striker, but Atletico Madrid right now remains his most likely destination. I think, to be honest, he's very, very unlikely to join Barcelona. He's at the age of 32. I've always admired him. I've always loved his style of play. He's a very, very good centre-forward. His movement for me has always been phenomenal. Getting in behind, he always finds space. He always finds time. He can score goals. We all know that. But PSG, apparently in January, will charge there around 20 million euros for anybody who wants to sign Cavani. And of course, big, big wages too. Another road that Barcelona very unlikely to go down. But we do start moving now on to perhaps the more likely players that could join Barcelona in the January transfer window. And one target I feel could be actually a very easy deal to complete is none other there than Christian Stuani. And I think he's a player there we're very much familiar with from his days in La Liga. He's certainly, again, your traditional number 9. He's somebody who will get you goals, who will play there on the last man. He can be a target man. He can get in the area and get on the end of things as well. He's done that consistently over the seasons gone by. And fair play to Stuani. He stuck by. He stayed loyal there to Girona even after their relegation. And he's been playing this season in the Segunda Division. And to be fair, even at the age of 33, he's still banging in the goals. Now, Stuani is not going to set the world alight. He's not somebody who's going to come in and he's going to be a world-class centre-forward. But as a stopgap here, from January to the summer, as backup, he'd be very cheap. He wouldn't exactly need time to settle in there in the city of Barcelona. He's played for Girona. He's played for Espanyol. He's very much familiar with how the city of Barcelona works. And he's somebody who could just come in as cover there in the centre-forward area, but also being a good goal scorer, and he remains an option. However, by far and away the most likely candidate right now to come in, according to the Spanish media, is Rodrigo Moreno, the Valencia centre-forward, the Spanish international, of course, cousin of Thiago Alcantara. Now, Sport right now are absolutely insistent that Barcelona want to sign Rodrigo, and they want to sign him now, with other reports in Spain also saying that Barcelona are very, very keen now to get a deal done. So far in the media, it's been reported that a loan deal could be struck there between Barcelona and Valencia until the summer. There, a 6 months loan that would apparently cost Barcelona around 6 million euros. But it's also reported there that loan deal would also come with an obligation to buy, meaning there that Barcelona, come the summer, would have to sign him, whatever happens, and that deal there could be worth 60 million euros, which for me, that's an expensive deal here. Rodrigo, he's a very good player. We're going to come on to that in just a moment's time, but he's 28 years old. He turns 29 in March, and it's not just the age here. It's not just the fee that concerns me with Rodrigo, because he's very, very good. He's a good player. He's shown that in La Liga with Valencia. He's also appeared there for the Spanish national team, and he's scored goals wherever he's been. But he's not a natural number 9. He's not there, even the right profile for me, for what we're looking for. He's not somebody there who's a pure finisher, who's going to stay very, very high at the field. He's actually somebody at Valencia who's very similar to Antoine Griezmann, to Lionel Messi, whereby the fact there that he wants to drop in, he wants to come deep. He's actually been playing at Valencia with Maxi Gomez. Maxi Gomez has been the natural number 9, and Rodrigo's actually the man there that drops off him, that plays deeper in the field, and that's why for me here, this deal doesn't make much sense. It's a very, very big fee. It's somebody there who's entering their prime years. He's getting on there to 29 years old, and not only that, but it just doesn't fit right now what we're going for. Why would Barcelona make that kind of error? And finally, of course, we do have to talk about Lautaro Martinez, and that's the thing with Rodrigo. If you go there and you spend a big amount of money, if you get an option there to buy him in the summer and it turns out to be an obligation, and suddenly then we're spending 60 million euros on Rodrigo Moreno, suddenly then you can't sign Lautaro. You can't sign Lautaro come the summer transfer window. I've got to say here, there's no chance, absolutely no chance that Lautaro Martinez joins in January. It's simply not going to happen. Inter are not going to allow that to happen. Antonio Conte is very, very much concerned right now with bolstering his squad, not weakening it. But in the summer, for me, Lautaro would be Barcelona's primary target. He is somebody that clearly we want to go after. But at the same time, guys, like I'm saying here, if you spend that kind of money on Rodrigo, we don't have a war chest. We don't have funds that we can keep going into and spending more and more and more money. We don't have that kind of owner who's going to pump money into the club. It's not like that here. So we can't just go and sign Rodrigo for 60 million and then go and sign Lautaro further down the line. Barcelona here are going to have to make a decision. Do they want one? Do they want the other? Lautaro, for me, much more so, fits the profile of what we're looking for. He's much more there of your typical centre forward there, an Argentinian. He's hustling and bustling, he's physically strong, he's quick, and certainly for me, he fits the bill a lot more than Rodrigo Moreno. But we're going to have to wait and see what happens, because as you know with Barcelona, particularly in the transfer front, they kind of don't follow the rules. They kind of don't do what you expect them to do, and quite often that can be frustrating, but let's wait and see what happens. Nothing confirmed yet. I will keep you updated right throughout, of course. Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. What do you make here of all of the names that we've mentioned, and is there anybody maybe that I haven't mentioned that the Spanish media have not thrown up that you'd like to include in Barcelona's possible list of strikers? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I will see you soon, of course, with yet more videos. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça. Barça, Barça, Barça.